Most land crossings to Gaza remain closed, making it impossible for food trucks to deliver much-needed supplies. RT Middle East Bureau Chief Maria Finoshina traveled there with one of the 8 drivers.
3:30 a.m. Spontaneous parking on a dead-end street somewhere between Jordan and Jerusalem. For security reasons, we cannot disclose the exact location. Ayman, not his real name, starts the engine and inspects the cargo. Having been a truck driver for a decade, Ayman lost his job due to the war's impact on the logistics industry. On his first day back to work in 7 months, he embarks on an important mission: shipping humanitarian aid to Gaza.
As far as I understand, this is the aid going from Jordan to Gaza through the Israeli territory.
Yes, we loaded it at the Allenby Bridge on the Jordanian border and shall deliver it to the Kerem Shalom crossing. We'll drop it off at the crossing and we'll head back.
Might sound like an easy job, but it became a challenge recently. For months, Jewish settlers have been preventing humanitarian aid from going to Gaza, blocking roads, attacking trucks, holding vehicles for hours and vandalizing cars and supplies. Left on the road has been piles of sugar, flour, rice, grain that are desperately needed in war-torn, starving Gaza. Last week, several trucks were set on fire. There are closed online groups where people post information on where the trucks will be, calling on all those available to come and stop the aid.
איזה אלופים, תראו איזה אנשים מגיעים ביום הזיכרון, במקום לפקוד קברים, באים לחסום את הסיוע לחמאס, שרוצים לפנק לנו את סינואר.
Their main argument: no humanitarian assistance before all Israeli hostages are freed.
I guess you've seen the pictures of the attacks on humanitarian trucks destined for Gaza. How you feel about it? Are you worrying about your trip?
It's very dangerous, not just a little, but what can we do? We need to stand by our people and deliver the aid to them.
4:45 a.m. Ayman is ready to go. As soon as we start moving, we spot a police car. For a moment, we think it is for the truck's security, but it is not. While Israel is supposed to ensure the safety of international humanitarian aid transported through its territory, it doesn't provide convoys with escorts. When attacks happen, police arrive at the scene, even occasionally arresting the most active settlers, but it doesn't stop others from continuing the very next day. The US has condemned the assaults as a total outrage. Jordan has criticized Israel for failing to safeguard crucial supplies, while human rights groups labeled these incidents as acts of terror. At 6 a.m. We try to engage Ayman in conversation, but he appears focused and reserved. It's about a 2-hour drive. Half is already covered, but threats remain. While on the road, we spot a number of trucks similar to Ayman's. Although many are bound for Gaza, they avoid traveling together in a convoy to minimize the risk of crossing paths with settlers. At 7:10 a.m., we arrive to the frontier. Gaza is less than a kilometer away.
We are at the Kerem Shalom crossing on Israel-Gaza border. It leads to the southern part of the Palestinian enclave. It has been the key entry for humanitarian aid for Gazans since the first truck was sent to the Strip, and it still remains so. Since the beginning of the war in October, more than 27,000 vehicles, more than 500,000 tons of supplies were sent to the Gaza Strip, and most of it went through here. This vital passage has been closed for some time following a deadly rocket attack that Hamas took responsibility for. But now the Israeli authorities say that it reopens and it is functioning. And indeed, we see that there are many trucks here. Some of them are going through the checkpoint. Some of them are waiting to be inspected and continue their way to the Gaza Strip, where the supplies they are carrying are in such a desperate need. Humanitarian organizations and international organizations like the UN are alarming that famine is spreading there in the enclave, where literally everybody out of 2.3 million population suffers from food and water shortages. Ayman and his truck reached here, luckily, without any trouble on the road. But with the settlers' attacks on humanitarian convoys destined for Gaza being on a rise, we can say that not everybody could be that lucky, and even his next trip could be different. Maria Finoshina, RT, reporting from Israel and Kerem Shalom crossing.